So before we get into Alex's run and the specific tournament from that that day, we're going to talk a little bit about the UKGE. I think I don't know how you say it, but that's how that the UKGE, I guess. UKGE. I don't know. It's got huge. There you go. It's huge. We're going to talk a little bit about that before we get into some of the other stuff, and we're probably not going to go over every single list like in detail, but we are going to touch on them because we've seen a lot of the lists. There's one of my favorite leaders just happened to win it again. I don't know. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it's just the best leader. I don't know. Let's get into our Chaos of War. All right, folks, our Chaos of War. We're going to start off with talking about tournament results. These results, obviously, anything, it has to be over like 40 or 50 people for the results to be captured, just as an FYI. Qi'ra remaining on top still, with everybody running data vaults, I guess, for taking down the most tournaments. Ray sneaking up there into second place, which I think she was last week too.
But now she's no longer tied with other people.
Yeah, now she's no longer tied with anybody else, which is kind of nice to see. Just as an overall leader perspective, Han 2 is creeping up there as the second most represented tournament winner leader. And we're going to go over
Town.
Yep,
for not being in the meta.
Yeah, if somebody needs to bring Tarkatown back, please, baby, so that we can stop seeing this Han 2 deck everywhere we go. But yeah, so it still feels pretty healthy meta. I don't know about you guys, but I still feel like even with the winning, it feels like it's sliding to Qi'ra a little bit more than maybe it should. I think Qi'ra's a good deck, but I do kind of question sometimes, is there enough stuff out there that we could just be running Pelp and knocking Qi'ra completely down? But that's a conversation for a little bit later. Top 8 leaders, Qi'ra still reigning on the top, followed by Sabine for top 8. Sorry, this is top 8 leaders. Vader kind of picking up a little bit, a couple of extra tops here that hadn't been in there earlier. Quinlan still show noticeably high in the ranking, and we're seeing Han 1 kind of still being popular enough to provide results, just not able to take anything down, it seems.
Yeah, Quinlan Tarkenton being 49 top 8s and having not in the top 8 leaders is kind of wild. The leaders that win PQs and higher. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
The disparity on that, it can make the top 8, it's just not winning tournaments. So
yeah, and I think the Tarkentowns work really well to knock out some of the Hans, but if people aren't running them. I mean, I think Quinlan still is in there. We see some CAD, right? Like Raytan again, be top 8 at a PQ.
I think there was 3 Cad Banes at that PQ, but
yep. There was 3 in the top 8. We'll have to go over 2 of them. But it must be the meta over there. Everybody just runs Cad Bane in Ohio. Ohio must be Cad Bane territory. Which makes me want to run my Piat deck over there, because my Piat deck loves Cad Bane. Just eat y'all to pieces. So I don't know. Even this top 8 still makes me feel more comfortable that the meta is pretty diverse. I'm a little sad that Anakin's kind of falling off. I think people are jumping on the Han 2 blue train over Anakin. And I don't know, because I've not played enough of it to tell you which is better. I will tell you that Han 2 cheats things out so much faster that if you can't control them, you have a harder time taking care of that. But I think if Han's going to be bigger, then we're just going to see Tarketown stuff come back. I mean, that's going to become a thing again, where everybody's running Tarketown, except for me.
Is Tarketown good into Qi'ra?
Not really, in my opinion, because you're shielding you're shielding your units. You don't get into Qi'ra. Boba Fett's are really good into Qi'ra. Those just tear Qi'ra to shreds. And Sabine does decent into Qi'ra as well because it's a pretty big aggro deck, and if you can't stop their roll, you just win. And Vader 4 is kind of similar. Luke 4 is kind of similar. Like if you run a little bit more aggro-ish against Qi'ra, she has a little bit harder of a time stabilizing. But once she stabilizes, you're just out of luck. Like
Yeah.
I just run my deck and have a better end game.
than Qi'ra. Well, I mean, you got Crate Dragon, so. Yeah. Qi'ra doesn't really care too much about Crate Dragons either, but
No,
just make
playing cards.
Yeah, it does. But I'll just play a Velvet Dragon and or maybe Kira's will start running choose sides, and then you take your Crate Dragons from you.
Yeah, right.
You still eat the 7.
That's fine. You do it to the Crate Dragon I just stole. Anyway, I think that the meta feels pretty well. I don't think Target Town's that good into Qi'ra personally. I have not seen that big of a issue with it. I mean, I will say like like a Kylo Target Town that can go really fast can be, yes. That's a little bit different, I think, than some of the other stuff. If Qi'ra doesn't ramp, she can't control Kylo, but I think that's any deck, right? If Kylo doesn't win by turn 4, Kylo probably just is not going to win that game. So so let's move into the UKGE. How do you say it, JJ? Huge?
Huge.
Yeah, just ignore the K and you're good.
Huge. You sound like
Okay,
you sound like Donald Trump now. That's who you sound like. This is a huge tournament. All right, so as you can see here, so I guess the way they played this is they did kind of the 2-day tournament, well, a separate tournament on each day, and they took the top 8 of each one and threw them into a Sunday top 16. They had roughly 100-ish for each of the days, so that's pretty good. So you think it's a 200-person tournament that did a top 16, which feels pretty good. I like that. I like those odds a little bit better than a 200 or 600 person top 8. But as you can see, Han Data Vault taken day 1, followed by a Quinlan Blue. And yes, we'll cover that list because that's the list we could not find, I think, last week when we talked about it. Like there was a Quinlan Blue I wanted to cover last week we didn't get to, and like I wanted Alex to go through. I want Alex to go through this list. Because I think that's gonna be like a question: is Quinlan Blue something that is can become more viable in this meta if we're going to start seeing these Hans crop up. We also saw an Anakin and a Boba and a Qi'ra Data Vault. So everybody's just running Data Vault. And then you have a lonely Luke Skywalker Tarkin Town baby. I'm excited to go through Pilot Luke. I'm excited to go through that list too. I like that list, but I don't have a Luke showcase, so
can't run any leaders unless I got a showcase,
I ran Pelp all the time, and I ran Qi'ra, and I have no showcases for either. If somebody would like to donate $200, I can get a Qi'ra showcase, but I do not have $200 to get a Qi'ra showcase right now. We also the day 2 or their Saturday, it looks like this meta was even crazier. They had the Akbar Data Vault. I played this list. I do not understand how this list like does super, super well. Like I have played it and I don't think it's that good personally. Like just, I like it. I think it's super fun to play, but I do not understand how this list wins all the time. I don't get it.
I don't see it either, honestly. And I play Akbar, not Data Vault, but it's just like do people not see what's going on? Are they going like super tall into it because he just exhausted and doesn't matter, or like do they not realize that he just can generate a bunch of stuff? I don't get. We'll get to it when we talk about it.
Yeah. We also saw a Han 2 blue Boba Data Vault again. We had a showing of Admiral Piat, which I'm excited about. That I'm excited to see that in the top 8. And we had a Obi Papu City or Pau City or however you say that, which is just crazy. I didn't even know that was a combination. Alex says that that's a kind of a common combination.
It is for my locals, at least.
So, I mean, I tried actually running that with Han, that base with Han. Han 1 and had decent success with it, in my opinion. Like, it felt really good. There's Han being able to have that extra health sometimes. So here we have the winner of the whole event, Qi'ra Data Vault. I don't know. It looks familiar. I don't know. I thought that list didn't do well or was not a good list, but seems like it's working pretty well.
I say I don't like it.
It's the tie daggers. That's what really puts this list over the top.
I do like that they included tie daggers in this. This list is a little bit more controlling. I mean, and it has some other like extra healing. Like, I'm surprised they're not running Chilson in this list because they have almost all blue cards. Like, you could just trade out those patrol V-Wings for 2 more of those Onyxes, and like, you basically have enough cards to run Chilson. So I don't know. Like, I think Chilson could belong in this specific list, but the major differences you're seeing in this list is this has 2 of the patrol V-Wings, which draws you the card, which I guess is good, right? Like, I don't know. It's good in Pelp. I just don't see it here. But I guess it helps you dig through the deck, right? Like, it's just helping you dig through the deck faster. The other big notable difference is they went to 3 Fells and 2 Rivals, and they added in 3 Dooku's, which we have not seen Qi'ra players play before. But I mean, it's 7 costs. It gives you a removal option, similar-ish to like Vader being able to ambush in. So I don't know. I don't hate it, I guess. I don't like that they're not running Devastator's main deck, though. So, like, that bothers me. I don't understand why you would not want that. And they also have the Cargo Juggernaut for extra healing abilities. I don't know. It's okay. This is different Qi'ra than we've seen before.
Yeah.
So, this guy's in my playtesting group. And he always has those double V-Wings in every deck that he plays.
Oh.
Yes.
Nice.
Because that is just, it's a little bit of a meme, but also, just drawing cards, having a body, just having fun. So that's pretty cool that, they obviously want it, right? It's just nice to see the people's face when they're just like, what are you, V-Wings? What? Why?
It does enable that tie dagger Vanguard, though, right? Like, because you can play that, draw your extra card, swing in, do your 1 damage, and then drop that, kill whatever their first turn play is. So, like, it does have that. I won't lie and say it does have value. I don't.
This is also the same person that played the Ray Data Vault back in Lille, in France, and started the whole Ray Data Vault train. They switched sides. Yeah. Because
this is a lot better to play in mirrors than Ray Data Vault is to play in mirror. I hate playing Ray Data Vault mirrors. So I don't know. I like the list. It's not that much different. Let's move on.
I'm happy there's the tie daggers in there over like the Death Troopers.
Yes, and I think we're seeing that as a little bit more of a trend coming in there. It makes so much more sense in the long run of things. The second list is a Yoda green. So I'm not surprised. Personally, I'm not surprised that the Qi'ra beat this. Personally, this does not have Endless Legions in it at all.
Nope.
So this is not that type of Yoda. I don't know. Do we want to cover this? Have we covered a Yoda green? I don't think we have we?
Not like this.
Okay.
Let's
go through it. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, so this is 30 health Yoda. Yoda green. So this has triple Battlefield Marine, triple of the Coruscant Guard. That's the 3/2 ambush with coordinate guy. 2 of the Gamorrean Retainers. 1 of the Outspoken Representative. 1 V-Wing as well. Double Akbar. Double Blue Leader. Triple Concord Dawn Interceptors. Double Tech. Triple Village Protectors. Double Yoda. Triple Resupply. Triple You're My Only Hope. Double Perilous. Triple Fell. Triple Takedown. Double Rivals. Triple Luke. Triple U-Wing. A Blue Chewbacca. And triple Home 1. In the side, you have 1 Confiscate, triple Eager Escort Fighter, double Traitorous, 1 Captain Rex, 1 Rivals Fall, and double Choose Sides. This person is also in my playtesting group. So it was pretty cool to have both teammates play each other in the finals.
Nice.
Yeah, I like the Yoda deck. Like, I don't, this is more my style than the Ray Data Vault pieces. I do like that they have that the representative. I wish it was more than a one of. I don't really like these one-off type things, but I do really like that card. I love that card actually quite a bit. We use that in a lot of testing. Eric and I had. So
yeah, it's just kind of funny that like 100% of the people that drove there in the PQ were in the finals.
Nice.
It was just him and his buddy. Yeah, so I like this deck. I think it's pretty cool. The Captain Rex is still a little bit weird to me, but it is an instant coordinate, so it does turn on things like the Coruscant Guard and the Outspoken Representative, and has more units for Akbar. And you can, and the Chewbacca you could also smuggle out, although it is more expensive because it does smuggle out for red.
All right, let's move on. The third place was a Han Data Vault. Which I thought, I think this is kind of the typical one that we've kind of seen. There's not there's 3 Confiscates main deck, which I think is unique. We haven't seen that all the time.
And it's got 3 heavies as well, which typically you only see in the ECL version.
Yeah. I like the 3 heavies personally. I think that's a good call. I think actually heavy does a lot more work than people think it does. I don't think you get the raid off, but I mean, like, you could play a Poe and a heavy, and then like you immediately have raid, right? Like,
yep.
And you don't have to put Poe on a ship. You can just leave Poe on the ground, and Poe on the ground is fine. He's a 3/3 on the ground, right? Like he's fine.
I mean, he's so good though. He's so good when he uses his ability to just shove him in that X-wing.
Oh yeah,
4 or 5 space unit for 3. It's just so good. I like that they put the Guerrilla attack pods in those. I have that in my Han decks, and you just drop them, and now they're a 6/4 readied unit for 5.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets
I always used the main deck when I was running Han. Like, they're just such a great value piece for Han.
The Carabas is interesting. I get it, because you don't have a lot of removal in this, which is why they're actually main decking 2 Felda Dragons. Which I like, but you don't really have a lot of removal in green red hero. So like having Carabast, or like occasionally you'll see Overwhelming Barrage actually sided in, or like Strike True, just to have some form of removal to deal with units.
Yeah. Their sideboard has the bombing runs and the open fires and a 3rd fell as well. So
yeah,
that's kind of neat seeing some of that.
Yeah, occasionally you do see like Stella Guerrera, just because you have a fair amount of tactics, but not so much in this one. They're all mostly in the side.
Yeah, they're all in the side.
Oh yeah, Fell the Dragon technically is a tactic, but that's going to cost you 6 anyways.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to the Admiral Akbar Data Vault. I do think this is different as well than the other one. I don't remember though, because I don't
honestly remember. I don't think it is.
Oh, is it the same? It might be the same guy, because he was a UK player. So,
I'll let JJ go through it though. It's all wild.
Yeah, this is a JJ deck right here.
Yeah. So the next one here, we got the Data Vault Admiral Akbar here. So we got 1 copy of the Defender, 2 Hotshot DL-44 blasters, 2 Anakin Skywalker pilots, 3 Coruscant guards, 3 favorable delegates, 3 Grogus, 2 copies of Phoenix Squadron A-Wing and Leia Organa, 2 copies of Bamboozle and R2-D2, 3 copies of Blue Leader and Echo Base Defender, 3 copies of the Sanctional Shuttle, 2 copies of the Sundari Peacekeepers and Waylay, 2 copies of Bright Hope and Qi'ra, 3 copies of the Resistance Blue Squadron, 3 copies each of Plo Koon and Wedge Antilles, and then 2 timely reinforcements, 1 Han Solo, 3 copies of Chu Sides, 3 U-Wing reinforcements, and then lastly 3 home ones to round off the list. And then the sideboards here, we got 2 copies of Salvage, 1 additional Bamboozle, 2 Cloud Riders, 1 additional Sundari Peacekeepers, 2 techs, 1 Emphas Nest, and the 1 or the 3rd Bright Hope that's in there. Definitely a really interesting way to build out this Akbar list here. You got a lot of you got a mixed amount of units across the board that you typically don't want to exhaust with Akbar. I mean, with the exception, I guess, of the Sentinel units that you don't necessarily have to send in to attack. They're just there basically to block your opponent from like attacking your base. It's definitely interesting. Same thing with like the Sanctuary Shuttle, just being able to like capture a unit really early and then just exhaust it constantly. To build out more token units for Akbar is really good. I definitely love the Wedge Antilles addition in there just to make those vehicle units a lot stronger. It does feel like this is kind of light for space units, but with all the different reinforcement cards that you have on here, you can easily bring out these units out faster. So it's definitely a really interesting way to build Akbar. This is probably one of the more unique ones that I've seen so far.
Yeah, how does this win?
It's wild.
Can I ask how this wins? I don't understand how this wins.
Magic.
It's not magic.
It's Star Wars Unlimited.
I mean, like, I guess I understand like the way the Wedge works. I understand the way the Plo Koon works. I understand the Qi'ra's in it, but I just don't 100% understand. Like, I don't know, and maybe it's just like when I play Qi'ra, I beat this. Like, it's not even like it's oh no, you exhausted something, and then if you attack it like I just don't get it. Like, I guess I haven't played Vader into this, but I played Han 4 Lake Country into this and didn't seem to have too many issues. So I guess I don't understand how this list works to win all the time.
Some players are just really good at the game.
I mean, he did really well, obviously, to hit 4th place, right?
Well, and he was like first in the second day Swiss too.
Yeah.
And there's got to be more to this than just catching people off guard. I hope, right? Like there's again, I play like mono yellow Akbar, so it's just a little bit weird to me that like people are just like not being able to like you're at a very competitive deck, a very competitive tournament, bringing competitive decks. It just seems like this would falter a little bit. I mean, the Resistance Blue Squadron's nice, so maybe they're just like maybe they just snowball really well. That's my only thought.
I don't know. Maybe somebody needs to put this on the table. Maybe I need to put this on the table. Let's move on. We have Anakin Data Vault, another Data Vault deck. This one is the Anakin version of it. This has 3 R2-D2s, 3 Timelies, 3 Battlefield Marines, 3 C-3POs, 3 of the Red Squadron A-Wings, 3 Green Squadron A-Wings. I apologize. It's a red card that's called a Green Squadron.
Right.
3 Sabines,
like blue leader is a green
3
card.
blue leaders, 3 Cassian, 2 Fang Fighters main deck, 3 of the Echo-based Defenders, 2 Freedom Fighters, 2 Sundari Peacekeepers, 1 Tech, 3 Open Fires, 3 General's Blade, 3 Bright Hopes, 2 Cham Sedulas, only 2 K2s, and then they also are main decking 2 Fell the Dragons, 3 Poes, 2 Recons, 2 Wreckers, 2 of the Reinforcement Walkers, and 2 Crate Dragons. Their sideboard is 2 Tanevs, the 3rd Fang Fighter, 2, those are piercing shots, right?
Shots, yep.
Yeah. 1 more Tech, 1 more Cham, and 3 bombing runs, obviously, for the Vaders, or I guess Akbars too now. Vaders and Akbars, we're just going to say that. I like this Anakin version. I think this is more fun to run than the blue version personally. If I'm going to run it, Cham being able to be, swing in for 7 and kill like a leader is so good. Like, just stupid good in this deck. And you have the extra health. You don't care as much about doing damage to your base now. And it makes your Anakin leader a little bit better because now you have that extra tier of health that you weren't getting before. I don't know. I like this deck personally more than I like the blue version of it. But
I have a local that's running something incredibly similar. I don't think he's got Fellow Dragons. He still has like Strike Trues.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it just it's really hard if you are like backpedaling to do much against this deck, just because it keeps dropping stuff that just swings, higher than they usually do. So it trades very efficiently.
Yeah, which makes sense, right? Like that's like your Anakin. Like this deck says Anakin's not my end game.
Right.
Anakin's my mid game in this deck, right? My end game is my wreckers and my reinforcement walkers and my like my crate dragons. So especially wrecker being able to swing 9 overwhelm into something. Yeah.
I've had it happen. Yeah. It's not fun.
Like you have to kill the wrecker before it does anything.
Yeah. Typically, I mean, wreckers are usually for ECL, but you do have triple timelies. They don't have the Stellas to pick up the timelies, so that's a little bit atypical. Usually you'd see it in probably the Fighters for Freedom spot. Although, Stella costs 1 more, I get it. But yeah, I mean it's still really nice sometimes to just drop Wrecker and kill something for 5.
Mm-hmm.
Or do what they did at the Ohio tournament and then drop Wrecker, defeat a resource, and then kill your own K2 and then do 3 damage to their base for the win.
All right, well that's mean.
It's funny.
That is pretty funny.
Because you do timely Wrecker in, get the overwhelm damage, drop the resource on the K2, and there's more damage.
Yeah, I like this deck. I think this is probably a little bit more my style than the Han 2 is. Personally, I would play this over Han 2, but I could see the draw for both sides. So
I do like it.
All right, let's go on to Admiral Piat, baby. Look at this. The 6th sighting came in 6th on Sunday. I love this deck. Love it. Definitely different than my version. This is not the same version I was running. But I do like this. I don't know who wants to take this one.
I'll take this one. So we got Piet running the Nadiri Dockyards, which I got to say, this is my favorite art on a base. Just seeing that Starhawk on there is just so good. So we got 3 copies of the OOM series officer, 3 Vanguard droid bombers, 3 Viper probe droids, 2 Force chokes, 2 Price on Your Heads, 2 Phase 3 Dark Troopers, 3 Super Laser Techs and Merciless contests, 3 copies of Open Fire and Resupply, 2 MC-30 Assault frigates, 3 OBs or Overwhelming Barrages, 3 copies of the Ruthless Raiders, 3 Invisible Hands, 3 planetary bombardments, 2 copies of Maul, 2 Architons, Assault Cruisers, and 3 Devastators, as well as 2
Green Devastators.
2 Green Devastators, yeah. And then in the sideboard there, we got 2 copies of Salvage, 2 Confiscates, 3 Traitoresses, 2 copies of Turbo Laser Bombardment,
Salvo, baby,
and then a third Green Devastator to fill the sideboard in there. I gotta say, I think I would have added a third Architons in there and maybe dropped one of the Invisible Hands, just because with Piet, obviously you're trying to get you're trying to ramp up right a little bit, and if you're able to get the Architons out for cheaper, then this just keeps on helping you with the ramp, so that we can get on to your 10 cost Green Devastator and put it out there a little bit sooner. But that's just me. But I absolutely love this Piet deck. I actually would consider running this particular version of it, just because it feels like it would do a little better for the way how I play. But I like this a lot. Piet is just just so nice with all those capital ships. I also would have considered putting the Qi'ra in here as well, the newer one. Just so when it does go, it just gives you 2 extra tokens to help screen. But
it's blue. It's blue, JJ. Stop it.
I don't care.
It's not worth it.
You got Piet, man.
You could just play Droid Manufactory. You could play Droid Manufactory for 2. There you go. And get your effing droids.
That's true.
I do like that the Invisible Hand can actually put in like the OOM, the bombers, and the Viper Pro droids off as when played in attack, and then you can also pull the phase 3s. You can't play them for immediately, but you can still pull, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very similar to mine, except for a little bit droid based. I also have 3 Mauls and not 2 Mauls. But that's just me. And I also run 3 Green Devastators. Though I did try out one of the executors just for the hell of it. Like, so 2 Devastators and 1 executor.
I saw an executor in Ohio, but we'll get to that.
So I like this deck.
Happy.
I think this deck is good. I think it suffers a little bit to certain types of other like other aggro decks, and it does suffer it doesn't want to see a Boba really because it doesn't have a lot of stuff that can absorb the damage. But I do think this with some of the meta shifting away from being specifically, this deck can kind of start to shine again. The next deck we have is a Han Blue. Do we have to go over this is this is a JJ deck. I don't understand this deck. I've got 1 Resolute, baby. Like, here, let me give you 1 Resolute, 1 Open Fire, 1 Obi-Wan. I don't want to. We're not going over.
Yeah, I think it's very similar to the one that we already covered before.
Yeah.
I do like Han Blue. I do not like this deck. I would never run this version of it, but all right. So I'm very excited about this deck. This is 8th place at the tournament this weekend, and this was the Quinlan Blue deck. Alex, we're going to talk a little bit about this. I've been trying to get Quinlan Blue to work, and I would love for this to be a thing. This has 3 Hotshot Blasters, 2 Favorable Delegates, 3 Grogus, 3 of those Outspoken Representatives, which is what we had been testing. I love that card so much. 3 of the X-34 Land Speeders, 3 Entrenched, 2 Ezra, which I think is a crime, 3 Falcons, the old Falcon from set 1, 3 Sanctuary Shuttles, 2 Techs, 3 Village Protectors, 3 Yodas, 2 Waylays, 2 Jedi Lightsabers, 3 Ahsoka Tanas, the 4 cost, 2 The Forces With Me, 3 Plos, 2 Han Ambush Hans, the 7 cost Ambush Han, 3 of the Lukes, and 2 Tranquility, baby. Their sideboard I don't approve of, but their sideboard is 1 Escort. No, it's not Escort. It's a Wolf, whatever the Wolf.
Yeah, it's a Wolf Pack Escort.
Yeah. 3. I don't even know what the next one is. 3
Disruptive Burst.
That's what it is. Yep. 3 Disruptive Bursts.
Give all the units -1/-1.
Yeah. I guess for the Vaders and of the world.
Presumably. And the Akbars.
And the Akbars now. 2 direct hits, 2 fells, 1 change sides, and a 3rd tranquility. Outside of a few changes, this is almost identical to my deck that I've been playing around with. I do not have tranquilities. I actually have the Tantives in there. That's what I have in place of those. Though I guess I could see the use of the tranquilities, right? Like I guess I could see because you can loop the things.
Well, and you actually have a fair bit of Republic stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like with the representatives, the Plo Koon, the Sanctuary Shuttles, all that stuff. Yeah. So I can see why they threw it in there.
Yeah. I like this. I personally like this deck. This is like one of my favorite. Like I would love for this to be really good. Alex, what do you think? What changes would you make to this deck?
Honestly, I'd probably just slide out the Disruptive Bursts and then put in Concordons. Because you have the triple entrenched main deck, you can just like entrench a Concordon, which I feel like is like maybe roughly the same thing. Although the disruptive burst,
That's JTL Vader tech, basically.
Yeah. I mean, it's just -1/-1, so kill all the ties. It probably can be, niche uses here and there. Like a lot of stuff has like 2 health. Maybe the Quinlan ping will kill it, kind of thing. But I like my Concord Dawn Interceptors a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and do we really in this deck? Do you really need the techs? Like tech kind of feels like the guilty pleasure of this deck, right? Like I don't know if you need techs. I
It
guess
seems like it'd be better if it was in the side, because all the sideboard cards are the ones that you want to tack out.
Yeah.
Right, because like tack's usually just like, well, I don't have options for these removals yet, but I will in the future, so I can play tack and then next turn smuggle out like a direct hit or a fell or change a heart or something.
Yeah, because I also don't have techs in mind either. I remember I have the Ularans because he's a Republic unit. I think I have the blue Ularans in there.
He does. He's the vehicle.
Yeah.
Roulette wheel, something for the vehicle.
Yeah, so I think I have him in there instead of the techs in my deck as well. So like other than that, my deck is almost identical to this. So I like it. I like this deck though. Like this was fun to run back at the beginning of the set. I kind of just gave up on it, and now I feel like maybe I shouldn't have.
You can always go back. There's plenty of time before the next set comes out.
I don't know. Do you think I can learn this before I go to another PQ?
It was your PQ in like a week?
2?
Oh, see, plenty of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you'd be running my Vader deck. I know it.
I could be, actually. I could be running my Vader deck too. So
I'll be with the wrong Vader.
I'll be with Stan Azuski. There you go. Me and Stanny running Vader. I don't know. I like this deck. That's all of the UK decks that we have. I wanted to cover those because I think like that being the largest tournament that we had this weekend, I think it's kind of important to kind of segregate that and say, hey, this is kind of like you go to a larger tournament, this is kind of the meta. Though I don't think we have much meta left to worry about because we're going to have set 5 coming out in a month. So